I managed to get myself early access to the Battlefield 6 beta.
Oh yes.
And I've been playing for a couple of days.
I know. I forgot Battlefield was a thing until people were talking about it, which is a shame because I know you enjoyed Battlefield. It never felt as good as Call of Duty to me. But yeah, it'd be so good if it was like Battlefield came back. We need a bit, a few more competitors in the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I've played so far, I am enjoying. I like Battlefield. I think I especially Battlefield 3 and 4, which this is like this spiritual successor to as such. I very much enjoy Battlefield 3 and 4 for sort of the fast-paced element, but also the squad-based
that's
play
fast-paced to you.
to it.
God, I played Battlefield 3 and I was like, why is it taking me so long to respawn all the way back in? Then I gotta run all the way back in and get shot. And then
it depends on the game mode, right?
No,
so it is a bit.
I want to.
It's not as
see
fast
Nicki
as Call of Duty.
Minaj, shoot, have her stab me in the back and respawn immediately, so I can stab.
Respawn with
Nicki
Snoop
Minaj.
Dogg looking over you as well.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Battlefield ain't that. Battlefield is not
why
that at all.
Yeah, I'm not patient enough for Battlefield.
Yeah,
but I always think the sound and sometimes the feel of the guns were top notch.
And so far with the couple of a couple of hours that I played now with Battlefield 6, having played several maps, several modes, and tried a couple of the different audio options that it allows you, it feels like EA has allowed the teams making it to really get into it.
Can you explain the sounds? Because as I said, some of the sound design in Battlefield was
some of the sound design is just you've got. I think this comes from 5, or might come from 2042, which was the modding game that came. But they've got normal audio, and a couple of different options. But one of them is, I think it's called War Tales. And basically, it essentially just ramps up everything. Mm-hmm. So everything is dialed up, and the bass is dialed up massively. So the idea of it is that if you're next to an explosion, and you're just playing the game normally, the explosion will happen, you run past it, you play the game, you shoot some people, you move on. If you're playing on the War Tales mode, the explosion happens, and it's so fucking loud that it actually it doesn't necessarily affect you, but it has the idea that you have experienced that explosion whilst you've been stood next to it. And an explosion happening next to you would be so loud that your ears would pop, and you would be affected kind of by it. And the War Tales thing ramps up everything so much that an explosion can happen next to you. You can hear almost nothing. You hear the reverberations of the explosion, and a tank fucking fires near you, and fucking hell, that was so big and so loud. And they're trying to replicate the idea that this is what it would be like, standing next to an explosion, standing next to a tank. The guns are cool, pap 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 pap. Guns are big noise, loud. A war zone is fucking, I would imagine, insanely crazy. And they've tried to bring a couple of audio modes in, which were in a previous game, but I think they've ramped them up slightly in this, to basically be no, this is an experience. You want to play the game, great, play the game, absolutely. But do you want to play the game as an experience? Yes.
Having a preteen saying, "Mom, where are you doing?" Over voice chat, just Mom, I don't want to go to bed yet.
Mate, just cuts all of that out, and there's literally, you've just been blown up, and all you can hear is just
a grenade.
It's just perfect. That's exactly what I want.
Ringing.
Yep.
And saying, Mom, I don't want to go to bed.
And you think, so that person's not saying, "Mum, I don't want to go to bed." They're crying. They're crying for their mum because their legs have been blown off. This feels like war. I absolutely get it. This is it. This is exactly right.
Yeah, it just distorts that child's voice and just turns it into like Saving Private Ryan going, "Mommy."
Oh mate, and some of that, but some of that is it's trying to build into that kind of much more filmatic, that much more experiential way of thinking about these kinds of things, and very much that is how it feels. So with the War Tales kind of audio, it's so much bigger.
Like how I don't really like Battlefield as a series, but I just remember the sound design.
Yes.
I said that, like, not knowing that this was an actual thing.
Yeah.
Where it was like, that is their USP, so yeah, lean into it. Because I remember, I think one of the Call of Duties from, I think it was one of the recent Modern Warfare games, which is like, which one is that? That's probably like 6 of them at this point. They're all called different things.
Modern Warfare 3, 2...
Yes.
3, 2? Who knows? Yeah.
That one, yeah. Where it's just like, oh, we're going to lean more into, like, you know, what it actually feels like to like, be near these guns and handle them and stuff like that. And they probably ditched that when people were flying in the next Black Ops or whatever, and Nicki Minaj is there. But it's like, yeah, like, if Battlefield can lean into that sounds seriously cool. Like,
yeah,
because
absolutely.
They have the underlying decent enough kind of gameplay, especially if they go back to like 3 and 4. If they can leverage that would be cool. But you're thinking then these are like, I say, you know, with some jest, but it's like a lot of people will be playing this with the game audio dimmed, talking to their friends. How much is that going to translate into it actually being a selling point for most of the audience who aren't just being like, I want to know what it's like to be in war, rather than I just want to dick around with my friends each evening.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that, and I think Battlefield, you know, if you had it set on just the normal settings and those kinds of things, if you can get a group of people to play, even better. But even just playing sort of by myself and things, I was able to jump into sort of games and, depending on the map and the mode, very much just be like, this is a nice, quick game to play. Okay. It's really good. The gunplay feels nice. It's a good FPS game. The sound design is good. That actually, even listening with headphones and things, I'm getting a lot of sort of ambient sound and stuff. I'm like, cool, I can hear footsteps. Someone's around me. Stop. Hunker down. Find somewhere to fucking hide. Great, there they are. Bam, 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 bam. And it's so many, I think, of the expertise of the 4 studios that have made this. Criterion, Motive, DICE, maybe another one as well.
There's not that many on it.
Yeah, man, yeah, absolutely.
I know we usually support shooting. The few will, you know, hop in and there and probably all be credited. But is it literally they have?
Oh, the splash screen. The splash screen is like the 4 studios that have made this game, and you can be like, great, Motive. I can see Criterion. I can see where the vehicles have kind of come in and been refined and those kinds of things. DICE is fucking brilliant at that Battlefield, that first player experience kind of thing. You can see where they've come in and put their sort of expertise and things like that. And so far, there's only been a few.
Did you say Respawn was one of them?
No, it's not Respawn. It's DICE, it's Motive, it's Criterion, and another studio. So
they're just gearing up to be Activision, where it's like, you are a part of the Battlefield machine, let's try this out for size. Yeah. Instead of making racing games, you're making
yes, and they may be making a racing game, but I fucking highly doubt it, knowing what EA is like with how they're doing so. Star Wars Outlaws Pod Racer. You know, Outlaws is completely dead. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor Pod Racer or something like that. But you can kind of see where they would have used the talents and the expertise of the studios to create an overall kind of experience. And it is quite a big experience. There's quite a lot going on. There's lots of game modes. There's obviously lots of gameplay within just the first player experience. It's not just pop in, have your machine gun, run around and shoot some people. It's squad based. It wants you to be more tactical. It wants you to be considerate and think about those kinds of things. I mean, there's a bunch of lone wolves enough that snipers can kind of disappear off and sort of do that kind of thing.
I'm not being a sniper. I'm running into the battlefield with my assault rifle.
Mate, pull shotgun.
Nicki Minaj is
there's so many close quarters experiences within this.
Okay.
But buildings, the destruction of buildings and those kinds of things is a huge thing in Battlefield 6.
Levolution?
Yeah, they don't call it that anymore. That's gone, mate. That's gone. Levolution is gone.
It'll always be Levolution in my heart. So.
It's now just blow the shit out of everything. You know, it's not like, oh, this one building collapses. It's no, everything fucking collapses. Blow the shit out of as much stuff as you want.
Okay, so they have, because that's another thing that I didn't like about Battlefield, where it's like, yes, we have these grand scale maps, but the close quarters parts do not feel as exciting as it did in Call of Duty, because I think that's what Call of Duty does great. It does great things on a small, medium and large scale at any point of the map, whereas I just thought Battlefield was just like a bit all over the place. Like, you have these large maps, but with the squad based thing and everything, and the respawn points where it's like everything feels disjointed. Like, you have these battles going on here and it has nothing to do with the battles going on here. Everything just felt very disparate and separate.
And
so
I
if
think
they've got things a bit more intertwined and a bit
again, depending on the game mode, I think you'll find that you will get a sense of the overarching kind of progress of a game mode versus a conquest where you've got 5 points that you can just take. And there's the push and pull of taking those points continuously through the game, but the maps are built in a way where actually like, cool, this is a really good mid-range combat area. This is a really good close quarters combat area. I'm not good at close quarters combat. I will go to point E and I will sit with my sniper and I will try and shoot people coming over. Or I love that mid-range combat. I'll go to point C. I love the vehicles. I will hover around points A and B because that's close to close to the spawn kind of point, and actually the roads and things are open in that kind of stuff. There's a map called Iberian something, and it's set in Gibraltar. And there's a section right in the middle which is lanes and alleys, very similar to another map that they've got. But there's lanes and you can go in a bunch of the buildings and stuff. And I'm literally like, I just put my assault rifle away and I get my shotgun out, and I just stalk the fucking lanes with a shotgun. And they're like, oh, I've got to the edge, and the enemy is not in the lanes anymore. The enemy is the other side of the plaza. And I pull my assault rifle back out, and actually there's this really good firefight between kind of like two corners of this plaza, where they're trying to push from one side, we're trying to push from the other side, and actually you can see people flanking around, but then you're thinking like, oh shit, maybe they're flanking around the other side, and they have, and you're like, bollocks, we're shooting over here. But actually, as an assault class, I've got my shotgun as a secondary weapon, I've got a grenade launcher as a special kind of weapon as well. I just need to pop my grenade launcher off into this corner a couple of times, and even if I don't kind of hit anyone, I've done a bit of damage. I've actually destroyed the wall that they were hiding behind. I've made it more difficult for them. Like, you feel so far like you're always making a bit of progress.
Okay. What if there was 16 people running into that alley at the same time, though?
Oh, they'd all have been exploded.
Exactly, and that's why I like Call of Duty.
Yeah. And it's good in a way that you could like with the amount of explosions and the amount of destruction that can happen in a building. I've been in a building when it's collapsed and not died, and been like, I really feel like I probably should have died here. Like, the roof has collapsed and everything has fallen down, but why am I still okay? Was I just in like a very safe spot? I don't really know.
Padded cell.
Yeah. And that's happened a couple of times, so there's maybe a little bit of refinement to happen around there. And so far the beta has been pretty good. It's been a bug in a couple of places, but nothing huge and nothing game breaking. Nothing's broken in the middle of a game. I've not been able to get into a game a couple of times because it's frozen on loading in, and a couple of bits, but normal beta issues. But it's making me very, very excited for the full release.
www.outoflives.net